In this exercise, we are going to use some Docker commands. Review the configuration files for the Liferay instance deployed to the Tomcat server. And after that, we're going to start up the Tomcat instance in a container and log into the platform. All the details are available in this file. You can download the file directly from our platform. To begin, we are going to copy a folder called Liferay Tomcat. I already have the folder. Here you can see I have the folder Liferay Tomcat, and inside that folder you have some subfolders, for example config, dependencies, and service. Inside config folder you are going to see a lot of files. Some of those files we are going to use in this exercise. For example, we're going to need the activation key, and in another exercise we're going to use, for example, those files with config extension. So not all the files here you are going to use in this exercise. Some of them are going to be used in future exercise. Inside the folder dependencies you have a subfolder called bundle, and inside that folder we have our bundle, our Liferay bundle. Here you can see our Liferay DXP Tomcat bundle, and also a file is a MySQL connector. It's a Java connector file. This file is really important because we are going to have Liferay DXP connected to a MySQL container. So your Liferay DXP need to have this connector. Inside the subfolder service, you have the MySQL. Here you can see the Docker file for that container, and also here you can see all the configuration for that MySQL. Please open the file Docker Compose. We are going to open that file. Here is my Docker Compose, and this part is really important. Here you can see the name of your image Liferay Tomcat. We're going to build that image, and after you can have your image running. When your image is running, then you have your container called Liferay Tomcat 1. And also we're going to have another container called MySQL. Please see the 52 line, depends on. Depends on means that if Docker detects that your MySQL is not running, then it's going to run for you. That's why it's really important to have in the depends on section. The other options are going to be used in future exercise. Please do not change that now. Okay, we need to go back to our terminal, and we need to be in the right path. This is the right path. We need to go to DevOps, Liferay Tomcat, and inside Liferay Tomcat you have this file, Docker Compose. So please go to that folder. Now I can execute the command docker compose build. Here in the documentation you are going to see a lot of comments about those files and all the lines that are inside those files. We are going to review those files at the end of the exercise. So for now, please go directly to this page. We are going to the page with the command docker compose build, and that is in the 11th page. So we're going to execute docker compose build Liferay Tomcat 1. Now you have your image. Please remember, if you want to see your image, you can execute the command docker image, and now you can see all the image you have in your machine. Here is the Liferay Tomcat 1 image. Now we're going to build the MySQL image. Please execute the command docker compose build MySQL. Now you have your image MySQL. If you execute again the command docker image, now you can see your MySQL image. If you want to see using your dashboard, please go to your Docker icon and then select dashboard. Here you can see the image Liferay Tomcat 1 and the image MySQL. If you go to containers, you can see MySQL and Liferay Tomcat 1. Why? Because you need to run those images. Then you can see Liferay Tomcat 1 and MySQL here in the container section. So now we're going to execute this command to have our image running. Docker compose Liferay Tomcat 1. This is going to take some minutes. Why? Because when you run your image Liferay Tomcat 1, Liferay is going to start. So that is going to take some time, a couple of minutes. If you want to see what is happening, you can go to your dashboard and see the log, or also you can execute the following command to see the log inside the terminal. Docker compose logs Liferay Tomcat 1. Now you can see your Liferay log. If you go to your dashboard, now you can see both containers are available here. Here are the containers, Liferay Tomcat 1 and MySQL. If you click here in Liferay Tomcat, now you can see all the lines of the logs. We need to wait until you can see the line with the message Catalina server startup. When you see that message, that means Liferay is ready and running. Okay, now you have the message Catalina start server startup. So you'll need to go to your web browser. Here is my web browser, localhost 8080. We need to wait a little more. I forgot something. If you see the Docker configuration file, here is the port. In the container is running in the 8080 port, but for us is in the 8081 port. So please go to 8081. And now you have Liferay available. When you see Liferay on your web browser, now you can sign in. I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to use the main credentials, test, and the password also is test. Then you click in sign in, and now you have to agree, and then you need to select a question. Because this is only a training, I'm going to use test and test for the answer. And now you are ready to go. Here you can see the product menu with the site builder options, content and data, and other options available. So now we're going to review this file and this file. Docker file contains the parts that are going to be used to create the image. For example, to create the image you need JDK 8, and open JDK. Also, we're going to use this bundle, Liferay DXP Tomcat. Please see the name with all the details. And now, if you go to your Liferay Tomcat dependencies, bundles, you can see here the file. When you decompress the file, you're going to have that name, Liferay DXP 7.3.10. Your Liferay installation is going to be inside this folder, and your bundle base is the name of the folder. Remember, when you decompress the file, the name of the folder is going to be that. And after that, here at the end, you can see important options. For example, here is the PortalX property files. And also, there is the activation key. That is really important because this container is going to use the commercial version of Liferay, that is DXP. On the previous exercise, we were using the non-commercial version, but for now, we're going to use the commercial version. And here is the MySQL connector. Why do you need the MySQL connector? Because if you see what is inside PortalX properties, you are going to see your Liferay is connecting to a MySQL. So here you can see inside the config, here is the path config. So you can go to config, and now you can open portalx.properties, and you are using a connection for MySQL. So you need to have that connector, that MySQL connector, that is available inside that folder, dependencies bundle, and that is the Java connector. So finally, you are ready to go. You have all configured on your machine. See you in the next exercise.